Hi there, I'm Suzanne, your friendly Stampin' Up demonstrator in Canada. Welcome to my monthly paper pumpkin alternative video on my YouTube channel and blog. I share 5 alternative ways to use the kit in this video, and I sell the products I feature as well. I hope you enjoy my free video tutorial and would love to see you sign up with me as a paper pumpkin subscriber. Visit sunstampin.com for more information. All right, everybody, don't faint that I've got this paper pumpkin video up before the end of the month. I know it was not even that difficult. It's after Christmas now. Everything has calmed down in my life and I am almost back to normal. So this was the paper pumpkin kit called Something for Everything. It has a ton of sentiments, like you could reuse this stamp set forever. It came with the terracotta tile ink pad, and then all of these card bases and stickers and labels and gold foil elements. So I'm pretending that you've used most of them and you only have a few card bases left. That is my goal here. So for my first card, I have a Whisper White thick card base, and I'm actually using the green shaded spruce ink instead of what was in the kit. I'm using some circles here. They are dies that I can cut circles out of. And I'm keeping that remaining piece because I'm going to do a twofer. So a twofer is when you've created your card and you have enough to make a second card. So these circles I am popping up with dimensionals, and I thought this was kind of like a masculine card. I do have a few of the embellishments, so I'm using them. And that is a very simple first card. Creasing it with my bone folder, there we go. So the twofer part is the second card here. So here's my handy dandy trimmer. I just want to let everybody know, because people were asking, have I changed my blade yet since I've got my trimmer? And the answer is no, I have not. So it's working really well. And in case you wanted to pick yourself up one, I know a demonstrator who would be more than happy to help you. So I think I went down to 4 by 5 1/4 here. And in retrospect, now I'm looking at this card and the composition, I might have made my circles a little closer together. That being said, though, if you don't have a die cutting machine, you could use punches, and you could use also one of those compasses that come with your, in your kids' school bag, just to draw it out and then sort of stab the circle in the middle and cut it out with your own 2 hands. That would be considered fussy cutting. All right, so I put a lot of dimensionals on the back of this card. I could have made a shaker card, but I didn't go there this time. And I've adhered it to my Whisper White card, and you saw that I used the back side of that while I was jibber jabbing. And now I'm going to use the shaded spruce again and stamp the happy birthday twice, because I want it to say happy, happy birthday. So an even more extra special happy. So I always have these little pieces of paper left over when I cut down Whisper White. And that is what I'm using today. So I just keep it all in a jar, basically, all my little strips, because I craft on a budget just like everybody else, and I'm not going to throw away a perfectly good label or like a sentiment strip, basically. And then I'm just using my Tombow glue to adhere it together. I put these 2 happies straight on the page, and then the birthday, I put some dimensionals. So basically, this twofer is like an innie and an outie almost, negative and the positive parts of die cutting. Now I'm going to put a few more of these champagne rhinestones And pretty much I'll just give you a little hint. These champagne rhinestones, you'll find them in the brand new catalog that's coming out on the 3rd. And it's one of my top picks, actually. I really like them. So 2 cards for 1. My next card is going to be a twofer as well. So here I have the pattern of the card base. What I'm doing is I'm putting the top right corner at 1 and the bottom right corner at 1. And you could use any angle that you wanted to. I wanted to use this angle. You could use 2 and 2 if you wanted. And then with this guy, I'm just cutting off 1/4 strips, 2 1/4 strips. Now I'm taking my glue and I'm gluing the pattern to my Whisper White thick card base. I've often said if you wanted to duplicate the cards that I design here, that you are going to need Whisper White thick card bases. So I'm adhering the second one on the second card base. And then my little strip, I'm going to put some glue on and I'm going to cover the unsightly seam. You'll see how much this adds to it, right? And I just cut it long ways and it still is going to fit. Like sometimes if it was just on the edge though, if that angle was any deeper, I might not have. And then I'm going to burnish it in with my bone folder, trim off the excess, and there's not that much excess. And then I'm going to use the terracotta tile and the sentiment. What am I going to use here? Just because. And stamp that along the edge. So here's a twofer. Especially if this is like how to use your pattern paper. This is a really good way of using it. And I don't know, I wasn't feeling very creative where I'm placing my jewels, so bear with me here. I'm sure you'll place them in a more pleasing manner. And there's 2 cards. Card number 3. All right, so I have a silicone sheet here. You can purchase that from your local demonstrator. I also have the gold, their leaves. So I'm removing the leaves and I'm going to stick them on my silicone sheet here for use later. So I'm not going to use the actual parts. I'm going to use the negative part. So I'm removing the release paper from the negative part and flipping it over. And then I'm going to come in with my embossing buddy, which is a hot tool item. If you don't have something like this, you could use baby powder on a cotton ball or something like that. And basically I'm neutralizing the stickiness of the piece. So it's no longer a sticker. And I have a 1/4 sheet of Whisper White regular here. I'm going in with shaded spruce again. I know this didn't come in your kit. Any green would do. And I'm using a toothbrush handled makeup brush. Toothbrush handle makeup brush. That's the word that I got it from, Amazon, the title that I got it from Amazon. People ask me all the time which one I chose. Choose the cheapest one, because there's no sense in you spending a ton of money on a spongy thing. You could, if you don't have one of these brushes, you could use your regular sponge or even a dauber, or what else could you use? Maybe a paintbrush or something that you just dip into your ink. I happen to like using the toothbrush handled makeup brushes, and I'm not going to tell you which one to buy because there's so many of them. And I'm in Canada, and I got, I don't know, I think I got two for, gosh, I can't remember, like $5 or something. So really inexpensive. You can find, somebody even said that you can find them at the dollar store. So be creative if you're wanting to use something like this. And so basically I just use the negative piece as a mask. Now I'm coming in with a black marker. This happens to be a Stampin' Right marker. If you don't have a Stampin' Right marker, you can just use a black pen. And I am loosely, not even very carefully, drawing in lines. So this is sort of a sketchy kind of a deal. You could have left it the way it was and it would have been fine. I wanted a little bit more play on the colors. And as I'm thinking about it now, I probably could have done sort of like a little doodle along the free edges that don't have any stenciling on it. You know, where you draw a little bit of a line and then, or a squiggle really, and then you do a couple, 3 dots, that sort of thing. That would have been fun to do as well. So I'm just getting creative. It's been a long time since I've been working at the craft desk. So I was enjoying myself. And of course I start with the paper pumpkin because I know folks like you like watching them. So that's how I got back into working with the crafts. Okay, so on my sticker sheet, there's these little fleurs, and I traced them out. I gave them a black center, and then I traced them out before I took them off the sticker sheet. And I think I did 7 of them. You have 3 of these sticker sheets in the kit, so maybe you have a few extra. I also brought in some shaded spruce cardstock to mat my little Whisper White quarter sheet here. And you could have used the, you know, the back part of the green card, maybe, if you didn't already use that, or this could be a scrap. And I'm adhering this all to a Whisper White thick card base. I really like the way this turned out, actually. I think this one's my favorite. I always say that. All right. So now I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. In case you don't have a Take Your Pick tool, I also know a demonstrator who can set you up with one of those. If not, you can use like another pokey tool, or you can use your fingers. You know, I just find that the tools are the handiest when you need them. So this one is quite affordable. And I'm just placing the flowers down where I want them. And also where there's, like if I made a fufu or something. Now I am using the terracotta tile and the sentiment that says, let's celebrate. So again, I'm using one of my little sentiment strips. I'm cutting it down even more. And I often do this by hand because I think it looks better. Sometimes, you know, having everything manufactured takes away from the fact that it's a handmade card. So I'm going to put some glue on the back side of the sentiment pieces, and then I'm going to adhere them to another, well, it happens to be shaded spruce cardstock. I had a little piece left over, and I'm going to cut that out after I adhere them. I'm going to cut them out. And then I'll even give them another mat, and that will be gold foil. Because there's some gold foil pieces left over, like some of the edges here. So I'll put a little bit of glue on the green section. So now it's got a double mat. And then I'm just going to use whatever's left over from these gold pieces. And I'm starting to get used to Tombow glue, but it gets on my fingertips all the time. So you'll see me sort of roll off the glue a little bit off my fingers. And then I cut better on the right-hand side, so I just took a little extra. And now I'm cutting it away. And I pop them up on dimensionals and place them in the top third. I think Celebrate is straight and the Let's is a little cockeyed. And then I made sure to use some of those lovely champagne jewels. Okay, so this is card number 4. I have a Whisper White thick card base. I have one of the floral pieces, card bases. I cut a circle out. And with this card, I was having, or well, this design, it was late at night, and for whatever reason, my camera was having a hard time functioning. It was sort of going in and out of focus, so I don't know what was going on there. Anyway, I stamped with the terracotta tile the 3 little fleurs. The circle goes on, and then I stamped Hey Friend in one of the little label pieces, and that was a super simple card coming together. I apologize for the focus. I'll figure that out. It happened in the next card too. And card number 5. This is the last card of the video. I've used, so this is kind of like a twofer as well, I suppose. So what I'm doing is the paper that I got from the last card, I'm just cutting it into rectangles. So here's one rectangle, and then here's another, and they're just whatever's left over. I'm trying to use everything. And then the back side of the card base, I am adhering my rectangles to, and then I'm going to cut them out. So I'm making a little mat with my patterned paper here. And again, my focus was in and out on this. I don't know what's going on. I really noticed it when I was editing, and I'm like, that is making me seasick. I have a new lighting set up right now, so I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it. Anyway, I'll fix it. Don't worry. Never mind. Just walk on by. All right. So I adhered the long skinny strip to my Whisper White card base. Then my big rectangle, I decided to adhere right there. And then my third little one, I put single dimensionals on the top of it and then double dimensionals on the bottom. And it's going to sit half on my big rectangle and half on its own. So this is another way of using pattern paper. And I'm just going to stamp the thank you and add the rhinestones. And that is my card inspirations for the Paper Pumpkin December 2019, something for everyone. I sure hope you had a great holiday with your families, and I will see you next week for some more inspiration. I promise I'll be on the videos. All right, kids, talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. On screen are 2 more videos for inspiration. Click on the maple leaf for my blog, or click on me to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.